Could it be a ship from the future? No, that creates another paradox. What about a ship from another dimensional universe? No, that would leave more questions than answers. The answer's here somewhere, I can feel it.
Steve, I've been looking for you everywhere. What's going on?
I'm a fish, I'm a fish, I'm a fish, I'm a fish.
Oh God, not again. Come on, Steve, you need a break. Let's get a drink, yeah?
Okay. Thanks.
So, what on earth were you babbling about?
The Red Dwarf Paradox. There's a continuity paradox between Series 8 and Series 9 of Red Dwarf.
What do you mean by continuity paradox?
Well, let's say I chopped your arm off.
Ah, you...
But then, in the very next scene, and for the rest of the video, you have your arm again.
That's just something being retconned. Or, it's a continuity error.
Not if I now say, remember when I just cut your arm off?
Of course I remember. It just happened.
Or did it? You currently have an arm with no damage to it, but yet we both remember me cutting it off. Therefore, for us to be having this very conversation, your arm was simultaneously cut off and not cut off at the very same time.
Huh? Ugh, this hurts my head. So, what happened in Red Dwarf that caused this kind of paradox?
Well, at the end of Series 8, Red Dwarf the ship, the spaceship, is being completely destroyed by a corrosive microorganism. But in Series 9, the ship is completely fine, as if the entire thing had just been retconned. However, in Series 10, the incident was mentioned by multiple characters.
So what exactly are you trying to work out?
I'm trying to resolve the paradox. For example, if I were to tell you that your limbs and clothing regenerate within a second of them being removed, your arm is no longer a paradox. You simply regrew them off screen.
Oh, I get it. Eliminate the impossible, and whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Well, what clues and information do you know so far to try and help us solve this?
Well, in Series 10, Rimmer claims to have stopped the corrosive microorganisms, with Kat claiming it was a fluke. With Rimmer replying, you think it was an accident the way I... before getting cut off. A similar conversation happens in a post-credit scene at the end of the episode, with Crichton getting cut off.
Well, what is the last thing we see in Series 8?
Easy. Red Dwarf is being destroyed by the corrosive microorganism, and Rimmer runs off after needing death in the crotch.
So what do you know happened in between then and the time we next see the crew?
Well, we are told that Kachansky ran away in a blue midget, Rimmer is a hard-light hologram again, and Red Dwarf does not have a ship's computer.
Wait a second. I don't understand. You said that Rimmer ran away from death, and then he's a hologram. Again. I don't know much about Red Dwarf, but I do know this. Rimmer dies in the very first episode, and becomes a soft-light hologram. So, what gives?
Well, that's not the same Rimmer.
Hold it! There's more than one Rimmer?
Oh, yeah.
So how many Rimmers are there then?
Well, let's see. We have the original alive Rimmer who doesn't repair the dry plate right. Let's call him Rimmer 1.0. Then there's the first hologram version of Rimmer, Rimmer 1.1. The other Rimmer in Me Squared is the same Rimmer, projected data from the same holodisk. Then there's the same Rimmer that, due to messing with time photos, ends up exactly the same as Rimmer 1.1, bar the fact he's not dead, Rimmer 1.2. Then that Rimmer blows himself up, giving us the second hologram version, Rimmer 1.3. This Rimmer gains a hard light drive and becomes the new Ace Rimmer. And finally, we have a Rimmer made by nanobots, which has the memories of Rimmer 1.0. I will call him Rimmer 2.0. Also, I know there's billions upon billions of other Arnold Rimmers that become Ace Rimmer, but as far as we know, there are only 2 that worked for the Jupiter Mining Corporation on the mining ship Red Dwarf.
So which Rimmer is claiming to have stopped the corrosive microorganisms?
Well, as far as I can tell, the Rimmer in Back to Earth all the way to the Rimmer in the Promised Land are the same Rimmer. So let's see what we know about this Rimmer. In Series 10, Episode 4, he admits to killing all the original crew, which straight away means he can't be Rimmer 2.0, as most of his crew escaped. Then, in Series 10, Episode 6, this same episode he claims to have stopped the corrosive microorganism, he says he died in a radiation leak, furthermore proving that this is not Rimmer 2.0. Besides, surely his light bee, the only part of him with substance, must be also storing his memories as well as the simulated consciousness. And finally, in Series 12, Episode 4, in Crichton's smear campaign, he claims that Rimmer died twice.
That only leaves Rimmer 1.3, which does explain why this Rimmer is hard light.
This also explains why in the Promised Land, before becoming Diamond Light, he is shown in his beige, green, red and blue outfits, because he is the only Rimmer to wear all those outfits. But it still doesn't make any sense, because Rimmer 1.3 became Ace Rimmer, and supposedly goes off in old Ace's ship, which can dimension jump, leaving this dimension forever. Oh, I'm getting a headache again. Hang on, are you even listening to me?
Huh? What did you say?
Seriously?
You're right. The Rimmer in Series 9 to 12 of Red Dwarf is the original Rimmer.
But how can you be sure?
Easy. I googled it.
Yeah, but any old Tom, Dick and Harry can claim that on the internet.
No, that's wrong! This Harry can prove it. It was said by Doug Naylor, the writer and director of Red Dwarf.
Oh.
So, number 1, which Rimmer is currently in the show? So I'll explain a backstory for the nerds, people that aren't as nerdy as we are, essentially.
The original Rimmer.
It is the original Rimmer.
Yes.
So the original Rimmer left in Series 7, become Ace Rimmer, and then a new one was created in Series 8 by Crichton's Nanobots. Yeah. But in the Dave era, it's clearly the original one. So
it's the original Rimmer,
will we ever be explained in any way, or...?
Yeah, Doug's going to do an article where he explains all the loopholes and
yeah. No, it was the original Rimmer. It was done. It came in, and we thought it was a good story, but obviously we want the original Rimmer back because it's the original Rimmer, and so that's what happened when we rebooted.
Okay, so we probably won't get an official explanation, but
the thing is, it's really difficult. It's if you spend all your time explaining things that most people aren't interested in, you're really going to be in trouble, and you won't be allowed to do anymore.
Interesting. It does seem like Doug has an idea of what happened.
Take a step back a minute, Steve. Just because you don't know someone doesn't mean you can't understand them. Doug is a writer just like any other, so using all the facts, tell us a story of how Rimmer stopped the corrosive microorganism.
Okay, I'll give it a go. After tiring of being Ace, Rimmer goes in search of his original team and eventually stumbles across Red Dwarf just as the Nano crew are escaping from the disintegrating ship. After landing and before realising what is happening, Rimmer spots Nano Rimmer, the last remaining crew member, trying to escape. He convinces him to become the new Ace and to use his ship to escape. Rimmer, alone and unnerved, eventually ends up in the captain's quarters, where he discovers the Luck virus, downing the whole thing. Then, by chance, or should I say luck, Rimmer bumps into Lister, Crichton, Kat and Kachansky just as they are exiting the mirror universe. After finding out what is destroying the ship, Crichton tells them they need to make some cesium francolithic mixy-aluminium rixy-dixy-doxy-dexydroxide as soon as possible. Rimmer then reaches into his pocket and with the power of luck on his side pulls out a vial of cesium francolithic mixy-aluminium rixy-dixy-doxy-dexydroxide, and together the crew stop the corrosive microorganism virus. But that's just an educated guess, based on facts and my own imagination. But maybe we'll find out more in the first 3 million years.
How long? That's way too long. I ain't waiting around. See ya.
Never mind. So, what do you guys at home think? Yeah, you watching this video. Well, what do you think? Let me know in the comments section.
Wait, I'm needed for the outro. So remember guys, drop a like.
Leave a comment.
Subscribes are always appreciated.
And if you ring the notification bell, you're guaranteed not to miss our new videos every Wednesday.
Bye. Where did this drink come from?